Good morning. I'm reading. I just read this and I'm going to read it to you. Okay, this is August 5th, talking about Job in chapter 1. Chapter 2. This is after all the destruction that came to him and then the disease on his skin, right? All the boils. And then all the destruction, right? All of his children died. He lost all of his livestock. He lost all of his riches. He was the richest man in the East, right? He lost everything. Lost all his children. They all died. Everything happened at one time. It says, then his wife said to him, do you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse God and die. That's exactly what Satan told God that Job would do, right? So Satan is literally speaking straight through his wife. But he said to her, you speak as one of the foolish women speaks. Shall we indeed accept good from God, and shall we not accept adversity? In all this, Job did not sin with his lips. So now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this adversity that had come upon him, each one came from his own place. And when they saw him, it says, they did not recognize him. And they lifted their voices and wept. Each one tore his robe and sprinkled dust on his head toward heaven. So they sat down with him on the ground 7 days and 7 nights. And no one spoke a word to him, for they saw that his grief was very great. And then when they did, they all said that he had to be in sin somehow, because there's no way that all this calamity came on him for no reason. So I've done a couple words before in the past talking about, like, is it is it this, or is it could be this, or it could be this, or this could be Job, right? Right? Are you in a Job season, right? And so I've definitely felt that, right? And in this moment, Job was pretty much had no one to trust, because he was literally being contended by Satan. Like, Satan himself was up against him. And so, that's a different kind. That's like the ultimate warfare, right? But then again, nothing goes unless God allows it. Satan came to God himself and asked him, right? Challenging God, saying, oh, he will curse you to your face if you take away your hand of protection from him. But the Lord knew Job wasn't going to do that. Job did start questioning God and doubting, right? He did go there. But, the first thing he did, right when all the calamity came, the first thing he did, it said he shaved his head and he fell to the ground and worshipped. And he said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. So it wasn't until the point where he's with his friends, and they are just, it's hard enough when you've lost everything. It's another thing when you have voices all around you condemning you. And so that's what happened with his friends. And these are people, that obviously were his friends. His own wife, right? So these are like people that, you love and all you have left, right? So, ouch, right? Ultimately, at the end, Job was corrected, but after he prayed for his friends, right, forgave them, God restored him double, because God ultimately sees everything that he put you through, all the testing he went through, and his friends were not tested by God like he was, right? So that's why it's very, very careful. You have to be very, very careful when you are talking about people, right? Because you always want to take things with a grain of salt and always be like, just in case, God is really doing something here, I don't want to be rebuking God. I don't want to be getting in the way of God, because God's not pleased with that. So we always want to be very careful when we are questioning and talking about people. Second, though, you do want to have that discernment. You do want to have that just awareness. And then ultimately things that involve sin, right? Sin is sin. And so that's why we pray for each other. So That's that.